Perfect. Okay, so welcome again, everyone. So today we thought that let's talk a bit about private Ethereum. In our last meetup, we covered transactions. We covered how to compile a contract, how to deploy it on Ethereum. Also, we learned that how exactly transaction work, how exactly compilation work, how exactly migration work. So all those things we covered last time. So I thought it's a good time to introduce you all to private Ethereum. It's highly possible that you guys are already playing with private Ethereum, but in order to bring everyone on the same page, I thought anyway, let me cover it up. What I'll be talking about is I'll be talking about all the details, how to download a private Ethereum. I should not say download private Ethereum, but how to download Get, how to run it in a private mode, okay, and various options or various there are certain keywords using which you can start Get in such a way that it can start accepting connection from your front end. Okay, so we will see all those things one by one. Okay. So, and as always, I really do not want love. I hate talking. I like we all are like here at DLT, as we all are practical people. We believe in seeing rather than presenting anything. So, like last time, I'm not going to present any slides or anything to you. I'm not going to talk any. I'm not going to give you any lecture on private Ethereum because that's what means. Generally, that's my personal experience has been that people uh, talk more but show less. But to completely unlikely, what I'm going to do is I'll just show you something because I'm sure you can go and read much whole lot of thing on private Ethereum on internet. But here I'm not going to talk much about it, but I will exactly show you how it will work. Okay, so we'll start from very scratches. I One second, let me share. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. Let me share the screen. Okay. So currently I'm sharing my terminal. Is the font size okay or you want me to increase it? Again, Umesh, Ajay,
It's
does
it's good. It's good, Neeraj. It's good.
okay, perfect. So what I have here is I have a Amazon cloud server in front of me, right? And it's clean. There's nothing on this server. Like there's no Ethereum installed on the server yet. So the way I'll start is as I said, I'll start from complete scratch. I will go and download, I'll clone the get, and from there we will start. So that if you guys have not done this thing in your past, like before, if you have never installed get, then this is the way how you install get. Also, the way I'm going to do is I'm not going to take the build version. I'm not going to take the PP of Ethereum, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the code of Ethereum, the real code which is written in Go language. I'm going to install the real code, okay, and I'm going to compile it, and then I will show you how to use it. The benefit of this is that suppose if you want to play with Ethereum someday, if you want to change the code, so you will be able to change the code of Ethereum. You can play with it and then compile it, and then you can use it. So generally on website and other stuff, I've seen that people like it has been shown how to use the PPA, that you cannot change the code but simply download the Ethereum and start it. But I thought like it's good to show you guys that okay, how you can play with code, how you can download the Go Ethereum code, modify it, okay, and compile it and then use it. Okay. So in order to do this, let's first go to web. Okay, and what I will do is just search second, just search Ethereum Git, so it will come right at the top. So there are various implementation of Ethereum. The one which we are interested today is the Go one, the Go language, and this is the official, you see, this is the official Go implementation of Ethereum. And my suggestion is go with this one because this gets updated like this, the Go language, this team is, I should not say the best, but this is one of the good team who updates Ethereum right at day one. So this Go implementation is one of the stable version among all of them. And this is my personal preference also. I like this Go Ethereum. So you can try this like C++ Ethereum also. But today we are going to take this Go Ethereum. It's also called Get. So you can see here is all the code and instruction and everything is here. Okay. But again, what we are interested here is the code. This is the entire Ethereum code which we are going to clone. So I'm going to copy this link. Okay. And then I'm going to clone it. In the meantime, so private Ethereum is something. See, Ethereum has various versions. There is a main network, there is test network, and there can be a private network. So main network is one which runs at network ID 1, where anyone can join, you can do transaction, and where Ether has real dollar value. So when we say that, okay, price of Ether is $50, it's on the main network. So if you have Ether on the main network, then Ether has the dollar value. Then there's a test network that suppose if you do not have infrastructure and you want to just test it out, then there's a test network that is network ID 2. And then the third one is this private network. This network is that you can start your own blockchain right from the start. So suppose you work for a company, or even you have your own company, or whatever, and if you want to run your own blockchain, you want to keep your data private to you, you do not want to share your data with anyone else, then this is the place to go. Also in private Ethereum, you can do all type of experimentation, whatever you want you can do. You can play with this private Ethereum. So that's why if you are a starter, you do not want to go to the main network directly, because every transaction will cost you and you will not understand exactly how Ethereum is going on. So playing with this private network will help you, because here you will start right from block zero. So if you have seen my previous meetup, then I've told you, right, there is a genesis block and then only blockchain starts forming. So here you will see how we create the genesis block, how block zero is formed, and then how the blockchain gets started. So everything is very visible when you play with private blockchain. And I'll recommend you guys again read it on internet. You will find whole lot of topics, whole lot of blogs on private Ethereum, which will explain you into more detail. And what I'm going to show here is the practical version of all those topics which has been discussed on the internet. So if I do ls, you see that don't worry about this one. This is a separate folder. This got cloned, the Go Ethereum. Okay. So so far what we have done, we have cloned the code of Ethereum. Still Geth is not there. If we would have tried to install using the PP of Ethereum, then like you just do a PP and everything is good to go. But here we just have the code. So let me go in the directory, and if I do ls here, you see you have all the different folders. You have complete Ethereum program here. For example, miners do with mining. Okay, then it console works for the console. So they are like consensus is for consensus, like consensus algorithm. So you will see, like once you go inside this folder, you will find all the programs of all the features. Whatever you can do on Ethereum, the code is here. There's nothing hidden. Everything about Ethereum is here. Okay. Now, either you can go and change the code if you like, or you can play with this code, or you can simply go and compile it. But before we do compile, by default, we are on the master branch, and I want to change it to version 1.5.9. Again, my suggestion is do not play with master branch because it's bleeding. Like Ethereum developer, they keeps on changing, so you do not know what new is there. Maybe that the master branch is sometimes it's breaking also. It might not compile. So my suggestion is do not use this master branch, but go to the stable branch. And the way we can do is check the tags. Sorry, right? So it will show you all the tags. The Ethereum developer, the way they separate is using the tags. So you see version 1.6.0 and 1.5.9. This version 1.6.0, as I posted in our Slack messenger also, you must have already seen. This is the brand new version which they introduced just a couple of days ago. That is 14th of this month. It has lots of new changes. They are talking about proof of authority in private network along with proof of work. They have changed C base, the Ethash code, the code which used to do the mining, the code which used to do the proof of work, which is the Ethash code. It was written in C language. Now they have converted it to Golang. They are talking about several other managers there. So lots of new things are there, but still we are also exploring. So today I'm not going to switch on this 1.6.0, but I'm going to switch to 1.5.9. The reason being, I do not want you to. So if you are seeing Ethereum for the first time, if you do not have any experience on Ethereum, then my suggestion is do not go to 1.6.0 because it's brand new. It might have some breaking changes which will confuse you. So we will talk about this 1.6.0 in coming meetups, but today let's go to 1.5.9. So let me check out. And create a new branch. Suppose we can call meetup meetup demo. Just to confirm. Okay. So now we are no more on master branch. We are on this meetup demo branch and we are using this tag 1.5.9. So this is, I'll say, like as of today, this is the most stable version. If you want to play with it, play with 1.5.9, get some experience and then only move to 1.6.0. Otherwise it will confuse you. There are a number of new things in 1.6.0. Okay. So once we are here, so far again to summarize what we have done, we have cloned the Ethereum. We opened a folder, we saw the code of Ethereum, we check out to a new branch called Meetup Demo, and we check out the tag version 1.559. And reason is because this is the most stable version. Okay, now let's compile it. So there are two ways to compile it. Either you can use command make geth or make all. The difference is make geth will only compile the Ethereum, whereas make all will compile all the other third-party tools also. And what those third-party tools are? Let me open the screen. Okay, so if you come down, you see in the Ethereum repository, you don't only have Geth, you have these, like Swarm, EVM. You have various other tools. Okay, so if you want to compile everything, then use make all. But if you want to compile only Geth, then use command make Geth. In my case, I'm going to use make all. But if you're changing Geth like every now and then again, don't use make all because it will take more time. Use make Geth. But since I'm doing this first time and in order to demo you, I'll use make all and you'll see that entire code will get compiled. So guys, if you have any question, feel free to ping in the chat messenger. Or again, if you think something is not making sense, we can discuss it here also. Let me know. Just give it a couple of more seconds. It should be done. Also, after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Genesis file, that is block number 0. The specialty of Genesis block is this is the only block in any blockchain system which is not created by blockchain algorithm. Genesis is block 0, which is created by you as a user, and you give it to the blockchain algorithm saying that okay, take this block 0 and create entire blockchain. Okay, so the way I do is, uh, so we are now all combined. We have get executable version of get, and it is generally in go to build and bin do ls, and you see you have all the tools along with get. So I'm not going to talk about any other tool today. I'm just going to talk about get, which is Ethereum, and this is inside build and bin. Okay, let me go back. So now we are inside go Ethereum. And what I will do is I will just create a make directory. I'm just creating a directory in DLT lab so that all the Genesis file and the script to start this Ethereum, I'll store it here. This is just a good practice. So I'm creating a file called DLT labs. Sorry, a directory as DLT labs. Okay. And now what I will do is let me go and copy. I'm going to my other folder. You won't have this folder. I'm just going to copy the Genesis file. Don't worry, I'll show you exactly. Let me just copy it from here. Let me go to Go Ethereum again and then DLT Labs. And what I will do here, I'll create a file, name it as Genesis. You can name it anything, but again, it's a good practice to name it Genesis because you will know. And also, generally, I like to add the network ID here. Okay, so I said right that main network runs on network ID 1, test network runs on network ID 2. So these are two reserved network ID. Apart from those two numbers, you can use any other network ID, and you must need you will need a network ID in order to run a private Ethereum. So let me put it this way: any private Ethereum is unique when its Genesis file and network ID is combined. What it means is any two private Ethereum can connect with each other as long as Genesis file and network ID are same. So this is important. Any two private Ethereum can talk to each other or connect to each other as long as Genesis file should be same, dot by dot Genesis file should be same, as well as network ID should be same. Okay, you will see whatever I'm saying, you will see very soon. So let me, what's date today? So I will name this network ID is 1904 and this is a JSON file, so name it as JSON. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a Genesis file, Genesis 1904.json, and I'll copy the Genesis file, the structure of the Genesis block here. So this is the general structure of a block. This is a very simplistic structure. I'm not going to going into detail because again, all these information you can go and figure out what mix has. Sorry. Let me quit it. Do it again. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. There you go. So feel free to do some research what each of these parameters is, what is mix hash, what is Coinbase, what is parent hash. So I'm not going into detail here. It will not make any sense, but you go and figure it out on your own. And you will be able to find it very easily on internet what each of these fields are. And there are many more fields which goes inside the block. So this is how a block is written in the Ethereum. Here, now this step which I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value of nonce. This is not mandatory to do, but again it is advisable from my side that do it. This way you will make your Genesis block more unique. So let me do it first. So it's 1904. So remember I said that two private Ethereum can talk to each other as long as Genesis file and network ID matches. Now, when you run private Ethereum, suppose you are on Amazon and you are running private Ethereum, there will be many more people around you who are running private Ethereum and they have also opened their port and stuff. Okay. If they are, so the probability that suppose I took today's date, 19th April, there might be that someone else also took this date. Okay. If you don't put it here, so by putting 1904 here in the nonce, I'm just making it a bit more unique. The chances that someone else also changed this nonce to 1904 is less. Okay, so it's always advisable that you go inside this file and change this nonce to some unique value, and generally that new unique value can be your network ID. Okay, so that's what I've done here. I've changed this nonce to 1904, but this is not a mandatory step for you to do. And I'll save it and then I'll quit. So you saw we created our first block, block 0. And this is the block which we will give it to Ethereum and tell it that, hey, take this block 0 and now start blockchain. Now start creating block 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So as I said before, this is the only block in entire blockchain which is not created by blockchain algorithm, but it is created by you. And this is also block 0. This is called Genesis block also. So either it's called block 0 or it can also be called Genesis block. Okay. Now, also the one more specialty of just this Genesis block is suppose today like on the main network, suppose 500,000 blocks are formed or millions of blocks are formed. The way you make sure is this Genesis block is unique in the sense for that particular blockchain. This will be the Genesis block, and everyone will know what Genesis block is. So suppose 1 million blocks has been formed, and if you start traversing back, so suppose you do not have this Genesis block with you, and if you start moving back into time using the topmost block of the blockchain, you will reach to this Genesis block always. If you are not reaching to this Genesis block at the end, then that means there's something wrong with the Ethereum. Someone has hacked your Ethereum. If you get this Genesis block at the last, that means that all other data on the blockchain is good. Okay, so that's here we have our Genesis block here. Now what, let me go a step back, and what I will do is, let's tell Ethereum, okay, the next step will tell Ethereum that take this Genesis block and do some initialization. And the way it works is, so let's take our get. So generally I give full path. So our get is in home, Ubuntu, go Ethereum, build, bin, and get. So make sure you point to the right get. It might be possible that you are playing with it. You have various versions of Ethereum and you start pointing to some different get. So you will change something here, but you will see the changes are not visible because probably you are pointing to a different get. So it's a good practice to give complete path so you know which get you are going to use. Then you need to give data directory. What this data directory is, data dir, you are telling Ethereum where to store all the blockchain data. So again, what data directory does is, but it's I'm telling Ethereum that go use this directory in order to store blockchain data. Somewhere it has to store, okay, and where it will store here. So again, standard is generally like this, okay. So this dot Ethereum, so if you start your main network or private network, you will see that automatically this Ethereum directory is created. So again, it's a good practice. Do not use this root of Ethereum in order to create your private, so in order to store the data of your private net. What you do, create a new directory inside this, like suppose in this case net 1904. So always I name it, I add network ID so that I don't get confused in future that where is, like for this particular network ID, where is the data. So generally I always add network ID at the end of the directory. So name it as net 1904, okay. And then, so what I have done, I have said Ethereum use this get, store all the blockchain data here, okay, and then initialize the Genesis block. So it's init, okay, and now I have to tell it where my Genesis block is. So again, home, Ubuntu, Go Ethereum, DLT Labs, Genesis. So we just created this Genesis file. So what I'm doing, I'm saying Ethereum, here's the get, use this data directory to create all the data of the blockchain and use this Genesis file to start building the blockchain. And I'll press enter and you see, don't worry, it gives some error, okay, don't worry about that, it's just in the code and that's why it's giving, but no harm to your Ethereum, everything is good as long as you get this line. Successfully wrote Genesis block or chain rule and set, and it has set the head, okay. So it has successfully written Genesis block or block number 0. So now our Ethereum is initialized and ready to start generating more blocks. We have initialized block number 0, and now I can say Ethereum that start now. Now Ethereum will create block 1, block 2, and so on and on and on. Okay. So now let's try to start the Ethereum. Let me start it this way. Let me start in the most simple way possible. So what I will do again, home, Ubuntu, Go Ethereum, build. So anytime you want to use command get, so if you search on Ethereum, there are certain commands with using get only. So you write get and the command. So whenever you have to write get, do not, since you have compiled it here, don't use just get. You always use this complete path if you have compiled the get, because you have not installed the PPA. If you would have installed the PPA, then this get command would have been available everywhere. So write this complete path, and this way you will know exactly where your get is and which get you are using. Okay. Then again, in order to start Ethereum in the most simple way, again give the data directory. Let me just copy it maybe here. Okay. So you see now this net 1904 directory has been created. Okay. And you also will have to give the network ID. So there is this parameter called network ID, and you have to tell Ethereum that under which network ID you want to start this Ethereum. So in our case, it's 1904. Okay. And I'm very sure that you want to start the console because you want to execute certain commands. Okay. So write console. That's it. So this is the most simple way to start an Ethereum in a private network. If you don't specify, it will take the default directory, but you should specify, at least you need to specify. This is a must thing, because if you don't give network ID, it will start with network ID 1. So as soon as I'll press enter, you see our Ethereum got started. All these details. But in today's meetup, I'm not going to do any commands. I'm not going to do anything inside this Ethereum. Mining and all we already saw in our previous meetup. But what I'm going to do is I'll exit here, And let me bring this command up again. When you start your Ethereum like this, and you can try it out since we have limited time, I'm not going to show you. If you start your Ethereum like this and you try to access the Ethereum, or well, let's take it this way. Suppose you start your Ethereum like this and there's a contract already deployed on this Ethereum and you want to access the contract from some middleware, you won't be able to do it. So I'm repeating myself. If you start Ethereum like this and you want to connect some middleware or front end, suppose Node.js, if you want to connect your Node.js or JavaScript code to this Ethereum, you will not be able to do it because you have not opened the right port. And that's the mistake most of the people do. That's where they get confused, that they simply started this Ethereum and now they think that it's all good. You can connect it with JavaScript code or Node.js code or whatever the front end is. But that's not right. You will have to open several ports. And this is how the security in Ethereum works. You will have to open various ports and thing. And let me show you how it works. So let's go one by one. So far I've removed console. So this is get data directory. So these are the parameters which we pass to Ethereum. So we pass the data directory, we pass the network ID. The next one which I'm going to pass is I'm going to pass RPC. Okay, and what this RPC is, it opens the remote procedure call. It opens the RPC port. So I will let you read more about what RPC is. But in this case, it's going to open the HTTP RPC server. And in another word, is going to enable the HTTP RPC server on this particular Ethereum. On this particular Ethereum implementation here on the server. So it will open the HTTP RPC server by this command RPC. Okay. Then another parameter which I'm going to pass is RPC port, and I'm going to give it 8545. This is not important by default. Also it takes 8545, but I am here. So there are certain parameters which I'll use here which is not mandatory, but it's good to know. Okay, so that in future if you want to change, you can change it. So here the RPC port which I'm going to open is 8545. By default also it is 8545, but if you want to change, you can change it here. Then the next one I'm going to do is RPC address. It is RPC ADDR. This is the IP, and you give the IP. In our case, I'll give 0.0.0. And again, what this is, RPC address, and make sure here it should be 2. One more thing, make sure you type all these things very carefully, because what will happen is Ethereum will not give any error, but you will, whatever you are trying to do, that thing will not happen. So be very careful when you are writing all these things. So here I'm giving 0. So I'm telling that where the RPC server is listening. So RPC server has an interface, and I'm saying that that interface is located on this particular on the local host. Okay, if you want to read more, read about RPC and you will understand what it is. But here, in order to understand Ethereum, this is more than sufficient for you, that okay, where the RPC interface is, RPC interface by 0.0.0, it is on the local host. By default also it is the same thing, but I want to show you, and that's why I'm showing you here. Just in case if you move the interface, you can change here, you can put any IP. Okay, after this, the next one is RPC CORS, CORS domain. CORS domain. What this is, and this is important for you now, this is a comma separated list of domains, and it tells Ethereum that from which all domain this Ethereum should accept request. Okay, so suppose your front end are on certain domains, so here you can specify. So you do not want to open your Ethereum for everyone, right? Because you want to keep your Ethereum secure, and that's why you are building the private Ethereum. So here you can tell Ethereum that accept request only from these domains. So you can put comma by comma by comma that accept request only from these particular domain. In our case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say it asterisk. What it means is I'm saying that open it for everyone. Do not do this. This is not secure. If you are testing, if you are playing with it, then it's good. Okay. You are not creating any more confusion. You are saying accept it from everyone. But if you want to deploy it in production or something, this is not a good design. Be specific that which all domain can access this Ethereum. Okay. After this, the next parameters RPC API. RPC API, and what this RPC API is? Here I'm telling that over the API, over the connection, which all Ethereum commands should be available. Once I'll write it, you will know what I mean. For example, eth web3 admin net miner and so on, whatever commands. So all these commands are available on the console, right? Ethereum web. So if I go up, oh, right here, you see all these modules are available. So here I can write and I can say that over the RPC connection, which all modules should be available to the front end. That's what you specify here. So again, do not open everything. In order to keep yourself secure, close it to as less as possible. Okay. Uh, After this, another couple of other stuff is you can use node discover. What does node discover do is it will your Ethereum will not try to find any other Ethereum. So by default, if you don't do this, then Ethereum will continuously try searching another Ethereum of same network ID and same Genesis block. So remember I said that two Ethereum can get connected as long as it has same network ID and same Genesis block. So if you use no discover, it will stop searching for any other Ethereum with the same network ID and same Genesis block. So that's what you can do, no discover. Or there's another thing called max peers, and you can say 10. So in that case, don't use no discover. Suppose you want to connect to maximum 10 peers only. So how Ethereum gets connected, I will show you in next meetups. But these command like max peer, what it will do is it will let your Ethereum connect to 10 different Ethereum which have same Genesis block and same network ID. Okay, so that's what max peers is. So I can leave it there. And another thing is verbosity. What verbosity is, it tells how much of details you want to see. By default it is 3, maximum can be 6. So if you do not want your screen to be full with whole lot of logs, then I think 3 is good. But if you are debugging and if you want to see stuff, then the maximum verbosity is such that it will show you all the logs. It will show you lots of logs actually. So I'll suggest you try different values and see what is good for you. Okay, so I'll leave it at 3, and then you can simply start console. Right, so there are a couple of more things which I'll show you, but let's start console here. If I click it, you see again it has started exactly in this. It's the same Ethereum what we started before, but now all the ports and stuff are open. Good. Now suppose, let me exit again, and here, so here when we start, you see it's not mining automatically, right? And also if I let's go inside and let me create one account here. Personal.new personal.new account. I created an account here. So you have seen in my last video that every time I was required to unlock this account in order to initiate a transaction, and that's the security, right? But suppose you are playing with it and you are in the development version and you want to keep this account unlocked for always, right? You do not want it every time you come in and you unlock the account, because it sometimes gets irritating. It's not advisable to do in production, because then your account will be open for always. But if you are playing in dev and you want to keep your account open, then I'll show you how to do it. So exit from here. So let's add few more parameters, and those parameters are, let me put, so I'm saying that unlock command is unlock, and unlock account number 0. So I created one account which is at 0. If I would have created one more, it would have at position 1, 2, 3, and on. So I'm saying unlock account 0, and also we have to give the password. Okay, and before I do that, uh, okay, I put some my own password. I don't want to show. So what I will do is I will hyphen PASSW. I'll just show you the parameter. I won't put the password. Okay, and then put it like this. Okay, and suppose the password was DLT Labs. So this is the password, and then close it. Okay, so this is how you put password, and this is how you unlock the account. Okay, so again, if you want to unlock the account permanently, if you don't like, you do not want to get irritated, you are in a development phase and you want to unlock account, so use this unlock 0, and then you have to supply the password of your account, and this is how you supply the password of the account. Good. And also, if you want that automatically it starts mining, then use this command mine. So what it will do is it will unlock the account using the password, and it will start mining also. Okay, and then you can write console, and if I will press enter, then this password it will not take, it will see what error it gives. Okay, so you see it said failed to unlock account 0. Okay, or maybe what I can do is, in order to show you, or let it be, it's you just use this. You can unlock, you have whatever password is there, put it here, put it mining, and it will start working. Okay, one more thing I want to show is that, okay, this is good that as long, suppose you are running on Amazon or whatever cloud you are running on, and suppose you want to run it in your background. Okay, because if I start this console, let me remove this, and I am removing this mine also, because or maybe, you know what, let's do this. Okay, if I start, it will start mining. Okay, but since I'm on this cloud and I'm in this console, if I close this terminal, then this Ethereum will stop. So suppose if you want to keep running this Ethereum in your background, and I'll show you how you can do it, because there will be a time that you do not want to keep your console open for always. You just want to run this Ethereum in your background so that your developers can connect to it. Okay, so there's not much difference. What you do, you use this no hub command. So let me go all the way up. Just bear with me. Oh, I should have added ampersand before. Anyway, so what I'll do, I'll add no hub. Sorry about that. I will have to go all the way down to add an ampersand at the last. And I'm sure if you are a network engineer, if you know Linux, this is all common to you. There's nothing new. This is not Ethereum specific. This is how you run any command background, and you add ampersand here. So what I've done, if you want to run it in background and you want to continue with the mining, so I've added no hub command at the start, and then I've added ampersand, and let me press enter. Okay, so it started. And let me show you. PS minus AEF get. So you see, this get is running on this. Okay. So now what our Ethereum has started in background and it's running here. Okay. So let's summarize what we have done. What we did is we cloned the Ethereum code, right? We saw the code on a high level, the structure. If you want to change, you will be able to change. Then we changed our version from master to tag 1.5.9. We did not use 1.6.0 because that is brand new. 1.5.9 as of today is a bit more stable, or it's easy to use, or we all know how to use 1.5.9. 1.6.0 we are still working on. So we changed to version 1.5.9. We compile the code using command make all. You can use make get also. Make all will compile all the tools which comes with Ethereum, and make get will only compile Ethereum. Then we created the Genesis file. We initialized Ethereum using giving that Genesis file. We said Ethereum take this Genesis file and now start working on the blockchain. So Ethereum initialized the Genesis file. We created block 0. Then we started Ethereum in the most simplistic way. So let me show you. So this was the command init to initialize the Genesis. Then we started Ethereum in the most simple way, but the problem is this: if you start your Ethereum like this, it will not accept connection from outside world. So in order to do this, you need all these parameters. You need to open RPC port, address, course domain, RPC API, max PS. Also, we talked about various parameters which we can pass. There are various other parameters which I will let you to go through and search it on internet. But now you know that how to use these parameters and what are the benefit of these parameters. we we this is the command to ask Ethereum to continue mining by default. We also saw how to keep an account unlocked permanently. So this is unlock this, okay, and supply the password. And we saw how to run Go Ethereum in the background. So suppose you do not want to keep your console up and you do not want to, you know, anyway, you want to close your console and you want to run this Ethereum in the background, you can do it using no hub, no hub command and ampersand at the last. Okay, so I think we have 3 minutes left in order for this 1 hour session. So that's it from my side, and we will continue with this private Ethereum in the next session also. Most probably, I'll show you how to connect Ethereum, but I'm not sure. Like we will do some voting. We will talk to you, and you guys can tell us what to cover in the next lecture. The way we did it this time. Otherwise, that's it. So I can stay behind few minutes if anyone has any question or anyone wants to talk anything apart from this. Then let me know. Thanks, Samodai. See you.
Yeah. Mm, okay, Neeraj Purushottam here. So I'm trying with some smart contracts. So I think I can see that Solidity is the only language where you can write the smart contracts in Ethereum. Is it?
No, that's not right. You can write a smart contract in any language. You can write in Python, you can write C, you can write in C++. You need to have the right compiler to convert it
Okay.
to particular bytecode. But Solidity has been developed. Solidity is the language which is developed by Ethereum people, and it is specifically for smart contract. So it's always a good idea if to write it in Solidity, because it's quite easy than writing in C++ or whatever. If you are a master of C++ or Python, then just go with it. But if you do not have any soft corner for C++ or Python, then yes, Solidity is the best language to write your smart contract, and slowly it's becoming industry standard.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. And again, I just on the same similar line, I just want to ask about the DApps. So is this the DApps is just the one some where they say that web3.js file, which connects to your this RPC things and get it whatever the operation you need to run. Is this the correct understanding?
So DApps is nothing but it's a terminology, it's a term coin called distributed apps, right? Just like we
Hmm.
used
Hmm.
to have for iPhone or this is the market word apps. Apps are nothing but it is just a program, right?
Hmm.
So if I
Yeah.
so let me understand. So you are saying so distributed apps is nothing. It is just a program which runs in a distributed environment, and Ethereum is a distributed environment. And now, in order to create DApps, you generally write smart contracts, right? And
Hmm.
those smart
Hmm.
contracts are written in Solidity. And in
Correct.
order to connect those smart contract to Ethereum, yes, you use Web3 connection and RPC port. So,
Okay.
so did I answer your question? So yes, if you are saying that do you need to use Web3? Yes, you need to use Web3.
Okay.
And the reason
Okay.
why Ethereum went to Web3, actually, development of Ethereum and Web3 was on the same timeline. So when Web3, so Web3 is not specific to Ethereum. Web3 is a separate protocol. So when Web3 was developing, and at the same time Ethereum was also being developed. So what they thought is any way to integrate the connection of Ethereum into Web3, and that's why we say that okay, Web3 is important for Ethereum. But it's not that any of the Ethereum white papers say that it has to be in Web3. If you can, if someone comes up with a new connection in someone somewhere else, then yes, that's possible. But today, since Web3 itself is good and they have integrated Ethereum into Web3, so it's the best way to use it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks. Jatin, I see your question. If we exit from get, do we need to initialize Genesis? No, you initialize Genesis just once. For one network ID, you initialize it just once. And before I know you guys have started dropping, one thing I wanted to show you very quickly, that you see like data directory. Just if you want to play with it, you can go there and see all the data. So if I go, okay, if I go here and if I do ls, you see net 90s 1904 got formed. If you go to net 1904 and if I do ls here, you see you have get as a directory where your everything is there, then key store and everything. Let me go to get oh, ls. You see the chain data. If I go to chain data, and here's all, this is the your entire blockchain. This is the ldb database where your blockchain stores the data. So you will see as you start running your mining, this chain data size will keep on going, it will keep on increasing and increasing. So I know in this we did not talk about how to take backup and all. In coming meetup we will talk. So this is what you need to preserve. Okay, this chain data. This is where the real data of your blockchain is. And one more thing I want to show you very quickly. If you go to this key store, and I say yes, this is the key store. So you saw I created one account. So here's the private key, which is secured by the password. So if you want to move this account from this Ethereum to somewhere else, you just copy this file from here to some other Ethereum, and using the same password, you will be able to unlock this. Okay, so these two things I wanted to show, that if you want to take a backup, this key store is important and chain data is important. Feel free to explore, and in coming lecture we can talk more how to take the backup and all. But yeah, this is your private key. If you want, you can open it. But yeah, here's the private key stored, and all your blockchain data is in the chain data. Okay, very quickly, do we store blockchain data only on one machine or many? So okay, so blockchain data. So in Ethereum world, each node is independent. So each node stores the data. So here in this case, it's stored on this one. But suppose if I connect 10 more nodes, 10 more Ethereum nodes, then all the full data will be stored on all the 10 nodes. Okay. Wherever a full node is running, it has all the, yeah, that's right. So whenever the full node is running, it has all the data. It has it, you know, each node is capable of serving all its clients independently. So any other quick question? All right, guys, and thank you so much for your time this evening. Really enjoyed doing this part, and any feedback from your side, will really like it will be highly appreciated. So we know how we are doing. Again, the aim is not that I only tell you like if you guys have something at any point of time you want to discuss, then feel like definitely we can give some slots to you where you can talk about certain use case and all. But the main aim of this meetup is, I know there's a whole lot of things going on. Our aim is to show you exactly how things work rather than just keep on talking. So I know sometimes it get confusing, but you see, right, you need to get your hand dirty in order to understand this thing. So on this note, I'll take your leave. Again, thank you so much everyone for joining. Have a good evening. Thanks and bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.